this place. By my pocket when I got one.
Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. What do you think of all that? Hateful, wasn't it? Yeah, that is, it's now Saturday the 15th of December, so there's only, it's the second Saturday before Christmas, and I was just having a quick sort of like semi-secret film there in Westgate Shopping Centre, Oxford, which is in there, and having a quick look at the various Christmas adornments they are for this massive holiday for consumerism. Now, I don't know if you've seen my Westfield video yet. I might not upload it till after this one, but Andy Thomas points out very well that the only constructions modern society makes that approaches the grandeur and ostentatiousness of ancient temples and cathedrals are shopping centres, or malls as they call them in the United States. And they have these grand high galleries with barrel vaulted roofs and buttresses, and designed to shock and awe the consumer into parting with their money. And the reason I decided to come here was I just get away from these church bells, slightly more melodic than what I'm going to talk about, but still getting in the way of my video. There's an article on BBC News actually this morning talking about how they play Christmas music in shops. Now, that Christmas bargain place I went into, you must have heard that they were playing Christmas music in there. Now, they had an interview with a guy who'd done some research that shows that playing songs and playing particular songs influences the customer in a certain way. Sometimes they are, sometimes they buy more, sometimes they buy different things based on the kind of music that's playing. And of course, it's quite likely that many of these recordings have subliminal messages in them. And this has been proved as well, that having put in subliminal messages into shop music can encourage better sales. And also it can reduce your shoplifting. I mean, they could put certain subliminal messages saying don't steal from this shop, and shoplifting rates will go down. It's been demonstrated. They've done controlled trials with a placebo group of shops which don't have the subliminal messages in. Now, music that's played in public places, it all goes back to the Muzak Corporation, M-U-Z-A-K. It's a common noun, but it's actually a trademark, Muzak Holdings. It's a common noun for all this kind of mindless kind of like music with very sort of insipid violin lines and and Hammond organs and things like that, which they play in lifts and you play it on railway stations, you know, various kind of the sort of meaningless music they play just as background. And interestingly, the founder of the Muzak Corporation was a man called Major General George Squire, and he was a CIA agent. Yes, he was, and he founded that company. So I wonder if there's anything so sinister about the Muzak Holdings Corporation. Well, connections to the CIA is always sinister. Now it goes back to another guy called Theodore Adorno, who was a philosopher. He was also a music theorist. Because he wrote sort of philosophically and scientifically about music, and he was also a member. He was a Marxist. He was a member of the Frankfurt School, and he was involved with things such as the Fabian Society and what was now called cultural Marxism. Things such as political correctness, feminism, the attacks against white people, things like that, racism against white people. It all comes out of that Frankfurt School cultural Marxist meme, which is one of the fundamental parts of the New World Order agenda, I think. It's one of the most fundamental tools that they're using. Now, just turn a page over in my notes. Now, there is state and corporate and cultural element dictation of music. You have, for instance, there's the bass chord, right, which is what when you're in an orchestra, they all tune their instruments to this particular chord or this particular note, and that was changed deliberately. It used to be the 538 hertz, right? 538 hertz is sort of like, it's a note that has particular resonance with. They found out on a spiritual level. This gets into the paranormal research element, but there's a guy called Dr. Len Horowitz who talks a lot about this. And if you go to the main Herpanwo site, you'll see that I've got a link in the links column to Len Horowitz's site. I saw him live at Alternative U2 conference. Very interesting guy. As far as manipulating the human mind on a subconscious level using music goes, there was absolutely nothing illegal about it at all. It's completely and utterly above the law to do that, or within the law, rather, to put subliminal messages into music, or use music without subliminal messages for the purpose of manipulating our minds. And it all goes back to Edward Albanese, who was a man whose malign influence is very underrated, I think. He comes out with stuff that sounds, it's completely acceptable, but if you look at the fundamentals of it from an unbiased mind, it's really deeply sinister. He talks about using psychology to influence people, to manipulate people, mind control. I mean, before about 1920, advertisements were very, very simple. They say, "This razor's really good, much better than any other. Buy it." It's as simple as that. After Edward Albanese came into power, you got Gillette, the best a man can get, with very masculine type themes in it, sexual, psychosexual themes, and things like that. That's an example. I'm sure if you go through advertisements now, you'll see loads and loads of these elements, and car adverts. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and car adverts are also very psychosexual and masculine. So Bernays, I think, is behind all this. Now, as I said, I don't like this. I don't like being, I like advertisements to treat me as an intelligent, thinking person, not someone who has to be tricked and fooled and coerced subconsciously into behaving a certain way, or even buying a product. Am I alone there? I'm going to do my Christmas shopping, and I'm afraid, for me, it's a chore that I like to get over with. I don't like Christmas shopping. I like buying people presents, but I just don't like I hate Christmas, the conformist side of Christmas anyway. I really do. I like mince pies. I like Christmas dinner. I like Christmas pudding. I just don't like all this sort of shopaholic thing, Thanks for watching Herpanwo TV. Hospital Port as pride and dignity stop the New World Order.